On this Juneteenth holiday, I want to introduce you to the Miller family of Gretna, Virginia. In 2020, Fred Miller, who now lives in California, bought an old plantation house and property in his hometown at the behest of his sister, Karen Dixon Rexroth. They wanted it to host gatherings of their very large extended family. But it wasn't until after the purchase that Dixon Rexroth made a startling discovery. Their ancestors were once enslaved on that property. The name of the property is Sharswood, and I traveled there recently to talk with Karen Dixon Rexroth and about this incredible twist of fate. Karen, growing up, what did you think of this house?
This house is within a mile of my mom's house, and this house, we never seen anyone outside, anyone in the yard, no vehicles, no lights on, and I often called it the scary house.
The scary house, because nothing was happening here.
Nothing at all.
And yet stuff was happening because the grass was being mowed.
Yes.
So then when did you see that the property was actually for sale?
Okay, me and my mother was on our way to Walmart. So I pulled over, called the real estate agent, and I was here looking at it within 2 days.
The entire family's looking for a big place for family celebrations because you're close yet large family.
Yes.
When did the mystery of this house start to unfold?
The mystery of this house unfolded with one term. Okay, on the listing agent site, they shared history of the house, and the name Sharswood was included. Once that name Sharswood came out, the floodgates were open. I was able to retrieve several historical records and information regarding Sharswood and the Miller family name.
And so the Miller family name, is that what made you think, well, hold up, are we related?
It never came across my mind, not until I had researched and found out that, you know, there was a Miller plantation, and Sharswood was where the Millers were enslaved and owned by Nathaniel Crenshaw Miller and Charles Edwin Miller.
So through your research, you find out that the house that your brother bought was connected to your family.
Yes. Eventually we did, after months of research and digging up records, reaching out to Carice, who was a local historian, asked me to send her information on my parents, my grandparents, and possibly great-grandparents. And I did that, and within 2 months, she was back in contact with me with that one statement that I can never forget.
And what was that statement?
She said, Karen, your great-great-grandparents, David and Violet Miller, were enslaved here at Sharswood.
The house that your brother purchased was where your great-great-grandparents were enslaved.
Yes.
At the quarters that are out there in the back.
Okay, this is...
Wow, so a whole family.
Whole family in one room, and the whole family in the other room on the opposite side. But they have one chimney with a shared fireplace, so there's a fireplace here and as well as on the other side. And
no plumbing.
No plumbing, no electric, no. This building actually is dated as being built prior to 1800, so the late 1700s. When I look at this building, I kind of can imagine someone cooking or preparing food here in these rooms.
Mm-hmm. And the ancillary benefit being heat.
Right.
Coming from this chimney as well.
Yes.
What feeling do you get when you're in here?
I get a overwhelming feeling when I'm in here, knowing that I don't know the relationship of the people that were here. I just know that they were Millers, and possibly my ancestors. I mean, I know my ancestors, but I don't know exactly how related. but I do feel that their presence here, oftentimes when I'm walking throughout the area and also inside the house. I'm just grateful to be at this point in order to share their stories. It noted in some of the records that the Millers owned 58 slaves and also had 12 slave houses. This is one of those 12 slave houses.
And I didn't mean to step on your emotion and your reaction there, but talk about what it meant to find out that piece of information, that the house that you just bought is not just some tangential connection. You're literally from here. Right.
I often think about how they lived here, how they were treated, what is around here today that they would have, actually touched as well. And knowing this information now, it's overwhelming with emotions on the past, whether, my great grandparents and their children, one of whom, which is my great grandmother, Sarah. She was born, I believe, here at this plantation because she was within 1 to 3 years old when after the Emancipation Proclamation. So it's overwhelming.
I'm just wondering, do you feel like this was meant to be?
Absolutely.
That the ancestors made this happen? Where are we right now?
This is the Millers, the enslaved cemetery.
And when we think of cemeteries, we think headstones with the names
exactly.
and
birth
and death and everything, but not here.
Not here. All we have is simply a larger rock with no name, no age, no date of birth. So at this point, we don't know who's buried underneath those headstones.
So there's that one there.
Yes, then there's another one.
One over there.
Another one as
well. Little one.
Yes, we don't know whether the actual size of the rock designates, maybe the age or whether a parent or a child, but we're clueless.
How does it make you feel to know that your ancestors, this is their final resting place?
It is, and it makes me sad knowing that they were placed here. We always traveled past this grave site and never knew that they were actually buried here within the woods. My mom's 82. She didn't know about this place. I'm almost 50. I never knew this place even existed, and it's discouraging knowing that they were here and no one did anything about it. I'm not sure who knew that it was here, but now that we know it is here, we have to do something about it.
What's happened to you as a result of this house?
Yes. With the result of this house, there's a lot of things going around in school districts and across the United States as far as teaching about enslavement or how the past was. I mean, it was definitely a past, and it was definitely things that happened and took place. So it's not this magical story that that never happened. It did happen, and it involved people and people's lives and families. And we know for sure that one of those families was my family. And I don't want to sweep things under the rugs like they never existed, because they did exist, and we are a production of them.
Karen Dixon Rexroth, thank you very, very much for opening your home to us.
You're welcome.